Gargoyle. To see you, it's Slimer. And an inflatable Ghostbuster mobile is dark. I know it's nighttime. But something that it can probably see from the street down there is this guy. He's taller than the house. I don't know if you can see anything because it's so dark. There's the top of the house. Bunch of information in the mail about vote for me, vote for me. I'll have to look it over. Then a project that I'm working on. I made this out of a block of 2x4. I drew a horse pattern on it, and then I carved it with a box knife till I got it down to kind of a horse shape. Then I sanded it a lot, and I got my little hand drill tool, and I've been sanding it some more. This will be a Dala horse, D-A-L-A. In Sweden they have those. They usually pop up around Christmas or any special occasion for good luck. It's a celebratory horse. They're usually kind of an orangey red color with fancy flowers and stuff on, but they can be other colors too. Now to tell you the main stuff. Ashley was at work, Brian was off, but I'll tell you more what he's doing. And I watched Little Man all day. Oh my gosh. Olive is my best friend. My back hurts so bad. And holding him up alright, like we stand near the fence and watch cars go by. And my sternum muscles and all were sore as heck last night, and my lower back's killing me. My leg was numb this morning. Oh my god, that kid. He has more energy and more strength than any baby. He's my little Hercules. Hercules, Hercules, he's my little Hercules. He is. That kid is strong. Holy cow. And he plans and schemes and he knows what he wants to do, and then he sets off and he tries to do it. I don't say he does it. Sometimes he does, but sometimes what he wants to do is really not a good thing for him to do, so I have to stop him. Oh, he's very quick. Oh. He has a funny laugh. It's like that. For a baby. And then today he would point to something that he was watching that he liked, like a wind thing going around, and he'll go like, what the hell? Demon spawn? What the hell's going on? Oh my god. He is a character. Now, to tell you about Brian. Brian's friend from high school, his best friend for, gosh, I don't know. How long has he been out of high school? 2001? Plus a couple of years. So he's like 22, 3 years he's been friends with Steve. Steve is a neurotypical. He's a counselor for people that have problems like that, but he is also like that. And that's okay. He's a nice person, very nice person. He's very timid, and he lets his wife push him around like crazy. Well, his mom basically ruled the roost in their house. So, I mean, you know, usually guys seek out someone that's similar to their mom somehow. And her name's Krista. They have two little girls. One's about 4 months younger than Spencer, and the other one's about 3 years old. She just turned 3. They were both preemies because the mom is very large and she has all kinds of health issues. But they want to have 6 or 7 or 8 or whatever kids. I hope they don't try. is not good. Her health is really bad. And another preemie or something even worse, maybe some really deformed or really bad off kid, you know, don't risk it. Don't risk it. You have two. Okay? Just don't risk it. Anyway, Brian paid for their hotel and he paid for tickets to Disneyland because Steve wanted to bring his family out. And she wants to go to Disneyland. She's the kind of person that, well, let me put it this way. We ate at a Steak and Shake, which is a hamburger place back in St. Louis. They bring out your hamburger, whatever. And she took a look at it, got mad, tossed it down on the tray, took the tray back, and complained that it wasn't the way she ordered it or something. This is a hamburger place. She complained and made a big deal out of it, and all the rest of us are going like, what? Is she like this all the time? Mm-hmm. Well, they're coming out for 4 days to visit this area. Brian paid for a hotel near Disneyland. He went down, pick them up at the airport down there, and take them to their hotel, maybe take them, I don't know, someplace to eat. Maybe In-N-Out. Because that's famous around here, In-N-Out Burgers or Carl's Jr. or something. I know they'd eat it. I hope he doesn't go out of his way. And he is basically their transportation for the next few days. Saturday we're all going, I want to go to the mountains because I love mountains. And they have some reservation to go to some children's petting zoo thingy up there. And Brian goes, well, you won't have anything to do because I only could get so many people at a time to go in. And I said, I don't care. I love mountains. I'll go. You know, I'll find something to do. Because he thought the ladies and the children could go in and he and his Steve could hang out and just talk. And it's not the first time that, probably due to Krista, they've used Brian. They're takers, or at least she is. And I think that's terrible. And it was always putting a guilt trip on Brian, like, well, we're poor and we can't afford anything. And like, well, then you can't do stuff if you can't afford it. I want to go fly and see Scott and Felix and Marley. I can't because I can't afford it. You know, I want a car that works 100%. And when I had that fuel pump put in, now the gas tank's wonky. When I fill it up, at first it showed full. And then when I turned the car on to drive, it showed 1/4 tank down. And then later in the day, it showed full. So I don't know what's going on. And when I was sitting with the windows open, because it was nice, at a stop sign, I heard a whirring noise, kind of a... And I'm like, oh, great. So I is up near the mailbox up the street, and I parked the car, let it run, and I went by the back of the car and was listening to it and everything. It must be the water pump. I mean the gas pump. It's gotta be. I'm very angry and upset because they had you by the short hairs. You know, car can't go anywhere unless it has, you know, certain things that make it run. And I don't know what to do. The dentist called today. The framework for the partials is in, and dentist is off for a week. So I made an appointment for the 27th to go in and have that part fitted, make sure it fits, that I know how to remove it and put it back in. And then he sends it down the street to another guy that puts the gums and the teeth in and all that. That's what I used to do. Make the dentures, I'd reline them, or I'd put the, put the gums and the teeth on and stuff. And that only will take a week. So 27th and then the week after, I shall have a full smile. I don't know. Is it worth it? I guess so. Kitty cat's getting into mischief. We found a couple cockroaches. Big fat ones. They may not be cockroaches. They may be... what were they called? Oh, the kind of pine tree that's on South Carolina's license plate. It's not a pine tree, not a pine tree, kind of a palmetto, something. They have big beetles that look like roaches, but they might be roaches. Brian thinks it's a roach because Ashley said they were. A neighbor had an exterminator come into their house, so when they're exterminated from one place, they find another place that doesn't have poison laying around, and they decided to come here. Cat found one, and I smished him, and I happened to see one, and I smished him. Maybe, God forbid, if I find another one, I'll try to keep him whole. Make him just suffocate so that I can see what he really looks like. I don't want to touch him. But, yeah, yuck. Back to the subject at hand. Brian picked up his friend and family from the airport, took them to their hotel, taking them for supper. I don't know. He told Steve he should rent a car or something. I don't know. Because Brian's going to have to drive all the way down. It takes an hour and 20 minutes to drive to where they are, to Anaheim. At least an hour and a half to drive down to where they are. So if they want to go anywhere, they're going to have, Brian's going to have to know if they want to go somewhere at 9 o'clock, he has to leave at 7:30 to get down there. Tomorrow, I think he's taking them to the beach. Krista has an idea that they're going to go swimming in the beach. No, the water is cold. The Pacific Ocean is much colder than the Atlantic Ocean. It's cold, and the undertow is pretty bad. Maybe you can put your feet in or walk up to your knees or something, but I wouldn't do it. There are people that go out there in the water, but I wouldn't. I'm scared of the water anyway. But then Saturday is the mountains. Sunday is dinner with Goofy at some kind of thing. Brian's going to go be with them. And then, was that Sunday? And then Monday, Ashley's going down, and Brian and all that. They're, because they can't all fit in Brian's car. Or, so there's 2 cars have to go. I don't want to go to Disneyland. Besides, it's like $125, $130 cat dollars a piece just to get in. Not to mention, you want to buy a drink, it's like $10 or $12 just for a drink. Like Pepsi or water. Not worth it. Not worth it to me. So Monday, both of them are going to be down there, and I get to watch the little man all day. I'm going to be dead tired Monday night. And then Monday night, they come here to the house, and they'll spend the night here. And then Tuesday, early, Brian's going to lug them all down to the airport down near Anaheim again. Too bad they can't leave from out here. There's Palm Springs and Ontario airports out here. Both of them are decent. But they got their tickets for the other place. I think they rely on Brian way too much, and they ask too much of him. He's a good-natured kid, and he doesn't complain. He might talk to Steve about standing up for himself, though. Because when they were coming, Krista packed 5 bags. 5 big bags. You need one medium-sized one for maybe a couple changes of kid clothes. Diapers. Diapers you can buy here, or whatever, if you need them. And then she probably brought many outfits to change into or something, or beach wear, and this play toys and all kinds of crap. She probably brought a whole bunch of crap. A suitcase for him and a suitcase for her. That's 2, 3, 4, 5. 3 suitcases more. I really don't get it. The airplane didn't know they were going to be bringing 5 suitcases, so they said they can take 4, but the one would have to go on the next flight, and they would just have to, when it arrives, they'd send it to where they're staying. Oh, Krista did not like that, and she gave the lady an earful, and I'm thinking, you stupid bitch. You know they're going to open up your luggage and do something. It's like bitching about your hamburger at a hamburger place. You will have an extra topping on that hamburger. I can guarantee it. I don't know what's wrong with that woman. She is nothing to look at, for one thing. She thinks she's all that in a bag of chips. And she grew up like on a farm. So what makes her so entitled is beyond me. She is like a Karen personified. Personified. And she's not even... She's in her 30s. Late 30s. Maybe. Brian's 39. So Steve's 40, because he's a little slow. But they were in the same grade together. But she drags Steve around and bosses him and wants this and wants that. She can't have but the best, you know, like, oh, poor Brian. Poor Steve. I kind of want to go be with them, like, at the mountains or something, even if I don't get to do anything but just sit and read a book. Because if she says something, this mouth is going to say something. She's a very shameful... She has no shame. She's shameless. She's got to learn that that is not how you go through life. You got to treat people better. If you expect to be treated well, you're not a millionaire. If you're a millionaire, I can understand millionaires sometimes get to be jerks and boss people around, but they have the money and they can get away with it. They don't have money. You don't piss and moan and boss people around. What the hell's wrong with her? Kat, what are you doing? Getting into everything. He and Spencer are like twins. And they know they're not supposed to get into something, but they do. Have I talked that long already? Oh my God, I have. Well, I don't know if you could see there's 2 gargoyles, a Slimer, an Ectomobile, and the giant Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Brian has a normal size one, 6 foot tall, for the front yard. But he just wants everyone to be able to drive up the street and see this display. Because there was a street back home, a major street, and one guy on that street always had some kind of decoration for every holiday. That was a cat, if you couldn't tell. And it's a decent drive to work when you could pass something that made you smile all the time. Hey! What you doing? Oh, trouble right here in River City. Trouble which starts with T, which rhymes with P, which stands for pool. Trouble. Oh, this joint's hurting. It used to be pushed out of joint when I played volleyball, so it's an old volleyball injury. I think it's supposed to rain Saturday. Maybe I won't go anywhere or do anything. Who knows? Who knows? Who cares? Well, I've talked too long. Yes, you have. Stuff to do. Yes, I do. Whew. Upward and onward.